In this video, I'll take a look at the lease offers currently out there on a number of electric family SUVs. These are the preferred choice of cars that have adequate space for small families and some very acceptable city and long driving capabilities. We all know that lots changing almost on a daily basis with prices and the tariff situation, and these values are only relevant to my location in the Bay Area, and particularly so as on the date of making this video. What's interestingly still in place is the $7,500 EV tax credit, and that's not yet been disturbed, at least at the time of making this video. It's important to note, however, that the way the credit is applied matters a lot. Some vendors apply the entire amount to the lease component and hence pass the entire benefit to the customer, while most in the industry apply the credit to the MSRP, hence only passing the proportion of the lease component to the buyer. Some vendors are not eligible for the same and still offer the $7,500 or a value thereabout on their own or through their finance vehicles. All the calculations in this video assume $3,000 down and 10,000 miles per year, and the prices indicated would be for 24 and 36 months. The stated prices include all the costs barring insurance. That will be a standard to compare all the cars in this video. Having said that, let's get into it. The Honda Prologue that's built on GM's platform, which was previously called the Ultium, and which has Google's software driving its systems, had an MSRP of $51,850. The EX all-wheel drive trim of the Prologue would offer 300 horsepower and 294 miles of EPA rated range on its 85 kWh battery pack. When I checked for its lease options, Honda offered $476 per month for a 2-year lease or $450 per month for a longer duration of 3 years. Here in the San Francisco Bay Area, the Prologue is a well-built SUV with great handling and build. You can view my full impressions of the Honda Prologue in the link here or in the description. It's a great car, but important things like route planning, plug-in charge, and battery preconditioning are still not at a place I would have liked them to be at. But for those looking for a good strong build and road comfort, this car should make a good choice. At Volvo, I was actually looking for the XC40, which was not available in stock. That would have been the perfectly comparable car here. However, the slightly smaller EX30 was on offer at an MSRP of $48,395. The Volvo EX30 twin motor has a 69 kWh battery pack and 253 miles of range. It offers 422 horsepower. The comparable lease price was $929 per month for a 2-year period and $819 per month for 3 years, both for the standard 10,000 miles per year. This seemed very high to me based on my early impressions of the car. As you see, it's priced very high whichever way one looks at it. A factor that I feel has always hurt the brand in EVs. It's really small in size and not quite comparable to the others in this video. However, its Google implementation was certainly way better in comparison to the other Google powered cars here. It has visibly missed features with no instrument cluster and a very tight inner seating space. This car was originally expected to be under $30,000 and lots changed since. Polestar, its sister brand, seems to have now removed the Polestar 2 from its US product list, and the other models on offer are of a slightly higher order to include here. The Ford Mustang Mach-E is the perfect fit in this comparison, though it's now trailing in offered features. The Select trim that can be optioned for a dual motor configuration comes with a 72 kWh battery pack, 230 miles of EPA rated range, and 311 horsepower. All numbers that clearly trail in a world where 300 miles is soon becoming a benchmark. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has even stolen the march over it and others, bringing in a native NACS port after Ford became the first OEM to tie up for the Tesla supercharger. Its MSRP was quoted at $43,780 here and was available at $449 per month for a 3-year period. Ford did not offer me a 2-year option. The VW ID4 has been a disappointment in its time in the US. At first, it was the disparity in its two battery options over which the users lacked choice. The LG battery available in some of the early models had a starkly different performance from the Panasonic one. Resolved since, as the 2025 ID4s I believe are now only available with the Panasonic packs. Then the car had major recalls, not making things any easier. For a car that suffered some very poor charging on the LG pack, some very poor software which also disappointed in its refresh, no over-the-air updates, and the free unlimited charging that made things worse for the community, where users simply abuse the limited infrastructure to the discomfort of others. When I now check the lease options on the ID4, the Dual Motor Pro trim was listed at $51,046 MSRP and the indicated lease was $500 to $600 a month for 3 years. VW did not offer any 2-year plan when I asked, but that would naturally be a bit steeper if at all. The Volkswagen ID4 all-wheel drive Pro features an 82 kWh battery pack gross, providing a usable capacity of approximately 77 kWh. The range is 263 miles and the set trim offers 295 horsepower. The two cars I'll include from the Chevrolet stable are the Chevy Equinox and the Chevy Blazer. At first, the prices. The Equinox RS trim is listed at $44,795 MSRP and its price for this comparison was $342.85 and $376.22 respectively for 2 and 3 years. The Blazer E all-wheel drive LT is listed at $51,695 and the corresponding prices for it are very attractive $202.49 and $283.22. These values are an absolute steal. I have no experience of the Blazer and hence you are advised to independently make a view. The Equinox is a good daily driver. The two major grouses I have with it is that its battery voltage is very low and that does not bode well with DC fast charging. The other is its software, which like the Prologue is Google's edition and still working its way on some very important parameters. Not displaying the state of charge in a numeric indicator and things like these are quite frustrating. But those not sensitive to software will like this car, particularly for everyday driving. Those hence make a good comparison of the prevalent choices. I am not including the Kia Hyundai cars here. Hyundai only had the rear-wheel drive car on offer when I checked, and I want to make the comparisons equal. I'll lay out all the data in a single screen here for you. Generally speaking, leases are not the best way to own a car in the US. But given the depreciation that electric vehicles have seen, it does make it a compelling choice. Simply spoken, when depreciation outweighs the total lease payment over the term of the lease, the option makes a great choice. As has happened over the recent 2 years, leasing offers tremendous protection against the depreciation that gets only bigger with cars that are priced higher. Let's say you lease a $50,000 EV for total payments of $20,000 for 2 years. This becomes a great deal when the use value of the car after those 2 years is under the balanced $30,000. The $7,500 credit makes it even better when it further pushes the total payments under the $20,000, and it's available irrespective due to the lease loophole. Those gains compound further when the cars are premium north of $70,000 where the depreciation is even larger. Listen, if you like this content, granted your interactions. If you would like to see my full impressions of the Chevy Silverado EV or my full driving impressions of the new Tesla Model Y, check the videos here or through their links in the description. See you in the next one.